Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brady and Theresa's prom date, Felicity's big brother revealed Days of Our Lives, DOOL, spoilers recap for Wednesday, May 22nd, reveals that Maggie Kyriakis, Suzanne Rogers, demanded a new office for Constantine Meliunis, John Capellos, and got some pushback from Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, at Titan. Still, Maggie argued that she wasn't trying to give Constantine a job. This was just about giving Constantine a quiet area to work on handling the trust she'd set up in Victor Kyriakis, John Aniston, name. Once Maggie made it clear that this was passing, Alex had no choice but to yield on Wednesday's day's occasion. After Julie Williams, Susan Seaforth Hayes, got a phone call about the emendations being finished at the Horton house, she told Chad DiMera, Billy Flynn, they could move back in now that the residency permit had been inked. Julie celebrated with Chad before telephoning Maggie, who complimented her on the news before giving Alex updates. Alex allowed. This was great since without Julie, Doug Williams, Bill Hayes, Chad and the kiddies around, he could officially claim his birthright and move in the Kyriakis manse since it was half his. Once Alex was alone on Wednesday's DOOL show, he called Kristen DiMera, Stacey Hayduke, to register since he'd be busy moving tonight, but he made a vaticination about making it up to her veritably soon. Back with Chad, he sounded pouty after Julie mentioned a dream she had involving Abigail DiMera, last played by Marcy Miller. Chad felt shamefaced for not figuring out the story Abigail was working on and wished he could averted her demise. Julie prompted Chad to move on and recognize Abigail's memory by living a full life since that's what she'd want. When Maggie came home, Julie expressed her gratefulness for opening her home as they participated in an emotional moment together. Latterly, Doug marveled over the Horton house looking exactly the same following the emendations, but Julie allowed. It looked indeed better. Although Chad criticized himself for the fire and the fact that they demanded to redo the house in the first place, Doug and Julie gave him a vim talk. At the cantina. On Wednesday's day's occasion, Teresa Donovan, Emily O'Brien, told Brady Black, Eric Martsolf, that she was back together with Alex, so he asked what this meant for Alex and Kristen. Teresa argued that was just a fake relationship meant to stir up covetousness, but she eventually admitted she overreacted to it. Although Brady felt like perhaps love just wasn't in the cards for him, Teresa felt like the right woman would come on sooner or laterly. Once talk turned to hop, Brady mentioned that he's agreed to chaperone the bash at Tate Black's, Leo Howard, Academy. Since Teresa had inked up as well, she joked around with Brady about going to hop together. In the city forecourt, Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, intimately took a call about a product job offer that DiBear moving to Los Angeles, so he told the person on the other end of the line that he demanded further time to suppose about it. Over with Chanel DiMera, Raven Bowens, on Wednesday's day's occasion, she saluted Felicity Green, Kennedy Garcia, and accepted the halal that she made. Chanel was too queasy to try it, so Johnny piped up about being Sweetbit's sanctioned taste tester and gave his blessing on the bite he took. Although Aaron Green, Louis Tomeo, was bummed about ordering promposal donuts that he couldn't use now that Holly Jonas, Ashley Puzimis, couldn't go, Tate offered to help eat them. Aaron picked up the donuts from Chanel and introduced Tate to Felicity since she was his youngish family. After Aaron explained that Felicity was going to work at the bakery after joining the Academy Fix program, Tate admitted to stealing some of Aaron's lunch eyefuls and loving them. Once Tate offered to let Aaron join his date with Sophia Choi, Madeline Keentz, and be a throuple for the night, Aaron was reluctant to be a third wheel. Tate claimed it was fine after they made their way in front of the cantina. Teresa compactly intruded to snare a donut and remind the boys to get to Academy on time, but also she took off. After Tate confessed he was going to give Aaron time alone with Sophia, Aaron questioned why. Tate eventually came clean about the fact that he was still dating Holly, but he forced Aaron to keep it on the down low since their parents wouldn't authorize. Once Tate suggested about planning a surprise, Brady popped up and questioned who the surprise was for. Tate prevaricated that it was for Sophia before chancing out that both Brady and Teresa were going to chaperone the hop, which left Tate looking uncomfortable. At Alex's apartment, Theresa dropped hints about wanting to move in with him, so he officially invited her to move in the manse together. Theresa was overjoyed as she accepted and hugged Alex, who looked uneasy over her shoulder. Once Felicity left for academy, Chanel told Johnny that she'd made a decision and wanted to have this baby, but only if Johnny was on board and would be right by her side. Johnny claimed he was always by Chanel's side and embraced her, but he sounded reflective. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Chanel and Johnny will have some family obstacles ahead of them. Eric demands truth from Sloane, Marlena judgments Everett, Stephanie stuns Chad. Days of Our Lives, DOOL, spoilers for Thursday, May 23rd, reveal that Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, will demand answers from Sloane Peterson Brady, Jessica Surfety, since she suddenly left the baby with Roman Brady, Josh Taylor, and Kate Roberts Brady, Lauren Koslow, to go get drunk at small bar. Eric wouldn't understand why his woman's amusement's so out, so Sloane will eventually admit this is about Jude Brady, Oliver McClarty. Once Sloane works up the wimwams, she contends stolen Jude actually belongs to Nicole DiMera, Ariane Zucker, and EJ DiMera, Dan Feuereagle. Of course, the part about EJ being the father will be a taradiddle, but Sloane will feel like she has no choice but to vend the deception since EJ backed her into a corner. While Sloane kicks off her concession, DOOL suckers will see the fate of Everett Lynch aka Robert Bobby Steins, Blake Barris, attack on Eric, which got him arrested outscreen. Day spoilers say Eric will obviously be fine, but Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gehring, and Jada Hunter, Elia Cantu, will have some harsh words for Everett aka Bobby following his felonious jest. It looks like Bobby and Everett's personality switches will come more frequent or indeed blend together a bit. There'll be a moment where Everett seems confused as he gets kittenish with Jada, so Rafe will watch and raise an eyebrow. Other day spoilers say Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, will stun Chad DiMera, Billy Flynn, with the scoop on Everett's crazy conduct and the arrest that redounded. Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, will ultimately get updates on what happened and speak with Everett aka Bobby, so she'll realize two personalities are battling for control and will partake the news with Stephanie, Rafe and Jada soon enough. Although Marlena will keep doing everything she can to help Everett with his issues, day spoilers say his problems run deep and relate to Bobby's history trauma. Everett and Bobby live independently inside his mind, so Marlena should try to integrate them as this plot moves forward. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Marlena will face quite a challenge, so we'll bring you prognostications on all the Everett twists and Bobby turns ahead. Chanel's decision, Horton House news, plan catch the con, Alex's invite, Tate's mistake. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, May 22nd indicate that Chanel Dupree, Raven Bowens, tells Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, she wants to keep the baby. Julie Williams, Susan Seaforth Hayes, gets word they can move back home. Maggie Kyriakis, Suzanne Rogers, puts her plan in stir. Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, asks Teresa Donovan, Emily O'Brien, to move into the manse. Tate Black, Leo Howard, confides in Aaron Green, Louis Tomeo. Chanel Dupree has made her decision. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Chanel tells Johnny she had decided to keep their baby. Chanel knows there may be complications, but that doesn't matter. As Chanel sees it, this baby is a phenomenon, and she doesn't want to lose it. Still, the exposure to the radiation could still beget a confinement. Johnny keeps telling Chanel that he'll stand by her whatever she decides. Still, this kind of leaves everything on Chanel's shoulders. Chanel will remind Johnny that the baby belongs to both of them, and she needs his opinion. Of course, Chanel won't tell him just how important she needs his opinion. Does Johnny agree with her decision? DOOL spoilers, the Horton home is ready. Julie will eventually get that call that he has been staying for. Julie and the rest of the residers from the Horton house have been staying with Maggie at the Kyriakis manse for weeks. Now the time has eventually come for the family to move home where it's much less crowded. Will Julie eventually break the riddle of the time capsule? Days of Our Lives spoilers Chanel's decision, Horton House news.